fine.
Yeah.
Now, it's officially a proper podcast now.
So
Yeah.
soon. So, Sid, something happened with crypto and a court case this week. Tell us what happened.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got me off guard.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, first thing, what happened now? It's midnight and I'm having a brain fart.
Are you
Something really.
stoned?
I am always stoned, but okay. So Grayscale, Grayscale won the court case
Mhm.
because SEC was trying to block them for some reason to not have ETF. They filed a case. SEC lost. Grayscale won, and it's a big victory. Just last week, it was another big defeat for SEC. It was not last week, but a couple of weeks ago. It was XRP case. So
Yes.
all the good news is coming. I'm seeing 110k Bitcoin in 2025.
Talk dirty to me, Sid. That's what I like to hear.
So in 2025, I'm thinking 180.
Mm-hmm.
In 2024, it might be 80, 90k. That's my prediction.
I like that, Sid. I like that
Yeah.
prediction. And tell me, Sid, what was this conspiracy theory you're going to tell me about?
Oh, other than that, I just read a new
Yeah.
conspiracy theory today. So I thought I'll tell you. So, this is so it's not a new one, but I heard it now, and I'm
Okay.
so surprised. So there is a thing called Soul Cube. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, so okay, I have to go step back a little bit from to set up the scene. So the story is moon, the moon we see. You know, I give you a hint that moon is not real.
Yes.
It's an artificial Death
It's a
Star.
piece of cheese.
No, no, no. It's like a technology, artificial thing
Right.
which was built by built by
Okay.
some aliens
Okay.
in a different star system. It was brought to our planet for some reason. And this is not like because we know that moon is not like Earth because Earth is full of rock, right? It's a heavy thing. It's not hollow inside. It's
Yeah.
full of stuff.
Magma.
Moon, however, is hollow. It's empty inside. And NASA did some test on it, and it's a proven fact that moon is hollow. So
Really?
yeah, it's like a scientific fact.
Okay.
They say that there are big hollow uh, caves inside, but it's the same thing, right?
Sure.
Anyway, so there are multiple conspiracies, and then Aristotle wrote about a group of people who used to live on Earth before there was a moon
Oh,
on
okay.
the night sky. So it's a legend. So there are things going on. Then I learned that, and we all know about reincarnation in different religions. So you die, and like we all, like every religion, have a concept of a soul. So in Judo, Christianity, and Islam, there is a thing that you die and you go to the next world, maybe hell or heaven, whatever. In Hinduism, if you do good things, you will reincarnate as a good person, or your life will be better than before. If you're a worse person, that your life will be worse.
Sure.
So while I was searching, there are some aliens which are reptilian aliens or something. But basically, it's the concept of Anunnakis. It's not the concept by Zachariah Sitchin, which I will discuss later, the 12th planet one. This is something that there are there. These are also alien, but they feed on negative emotions of humans,
Okay.
and they need it so much more that they have trapped human soul on this earth. So you die, you live in like you live a miserable life, and which is true. Like 98% of the people, maybe 99% of the people on earth living miserably.
Are you saying
Even if
this is our reality now, Sid?
this is our reality, which is no, this is a fact that we are. So
I'm having an okay time for this miserable
no,
reality.
that makes you one person, right? But
Okay.
it's And you cannot have negativity forever. So in order to feed them, so they have to create wars, famine, and stuff like that. Like so, that's when the moon come in. They said that they have created a device which is in the moon. Whenever somebody die and then soul try to escape, that device captures the soul and send it back to Earth in a newborn baby.
This is a pretty wacky conspiracy theory.
It is a pretty vague. Oh, by the way, most of the conspiracies are
Well,
vague.
yeah.
So anyway, they decide the device is like a cube, and recently, not NASA, Chinese space rover was walking around in the moon, not walking, but like rovering
Rolling,
around,
yeah, yeah.
and they saw a cube on the moon. I'm not joking, that's true.
And Sid, were you like, there it is, there's proof?
No, but they saw from far away there is a big cube, and they named that object a strange hut. You
What
can
name?
search it on, yeah.
A
So
strange
Chinese
heart.
rover, they accidentally because they had like a live broadcast going on, they saw
Sure.
it, they showed it, but they didn't investigate. But trust me, if you have a rover on the moon and you see an insane object, what the first thing you should do? Go and investigate
Of
that. No,
course. And you've gone all that way to be like,
yeah.
nah, don't worry about
No.
that. We'll just give it a funny name and move on.
This thing before as well,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that NASA also had a picture from far away, but they took it from the space or something where
Okay.
they showed us cube, but it was like from very far away. Still, people were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
But then recently, this Chinese photo came out. I was like, oh. By the way, it's all bullshit. I don't believe it, but as a conspiracy, it's an amazing theory.
It's out there.
Yeah, but yeah, the person died. They capture the soul and then send it back.
And that the moon is a fake prop, like
No,
a
moon is a fake prop. I am pretty sure about it.
oh, so you're down with that part.
Yeah,
Okay, Sid. Well, that's pretty out there, even for you.
yeah, yeah.
Even by Sid standards.
Yeah, so the cute part is like bullshit, but everything else is good. The real story which I
Mhm.
was talking about is like the book called 12th Planet.
Yes.
Century they were digging in Iraq. Before they were doing an excavation, they found like so many tablets, clay tablets, where
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
writing, yeah.
right. Yeah.
And they had this writing, very strange writing called cuneiforms. It's like lines, and anyway, it was very hard to decipher it. So
Mm-hmm.
there was this one man called Zacharias Sitchin. He was like a language expert.
Mm-hmm.
So he took this task to figure it out, and he deciphered everything. So there is like a religious version of it, but I'm gonna go with the 12th planet.
Mm-hmm.
So the story is there is a planet called Nibiru, which is the 12th planet. The name goes 12th planet because on those tablets they found a drawing
Mm-hmm.
of our solar system.
Wow, okay. That's fairly advanced.
And they said there is another planet which is in an elliptical orbit,
Mm-hmm.
which comes, which like revolves around Earth, and the whole orbit took 3,600 years.
Right.
So every 3,600 years, it come close to the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's its orbit. The planet Nibiru
Mm.
is the 12th one, and the story begins from now. So they were having a climate issue, like climate crisis in their planet,
Mm-hmm.
and they figure out they need gold to spray in the space, gold dust to
Right.
spread around. And this experiment was being done in our on our planet as well, but not going there right now. Bill Gates was doing that. He's so stupid. Anyway, so they needed that. So for that, they start looking around on the different planet because they did not have gold on their planet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had some, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm. Not enough.
And they're very highly advanced, so they can easily travel between planets. and they were very vicious people. So they already enslaved one uh, race of people called Igigi. They are a lot in numbers, but they are not technical advanced compared to Anunnakis who were super advanced. Anyway, they came to Earth. They and there were no humans, but there were other animals
Sure.
and primates.
Yeah.
So they came to Earth and they brought Igigi as a mining workers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got you.
Anyway, they give them so much work, and they treated them very bad that they started a revolution,
Good
and
then.
then the war begins.
Right.
Igigi was more in numbers. Anunnakis were very few in numbers. Anyway, eventually they killed all the Igigis.
Wow.
They needed workers, so they decided they will create another race on Earth which will do their work. So they took the human primate, which was their, like, let's just say Australopithecus, or any, you go back in the evolution, you see like the primates, like
Yeah.
monkeys type.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
They took their DNA and they mixed it with their own DNA and created a new race called human race.
That's us.
That's us. Okay, this is they created. They named him Adama,
Okay.
which is like Adam. Story is all written on those tablets, and they were written way before Christianity and Judaism,
Wow.
because this civilization is like 10,000 years old.
It's wild. On the topic of humans and evolution from apes, have you heard there is some theories going around that the reasons that humans started evolving, the catalyst, was magic mushrooms?
That's actually a very good story. Yeah, it's called stoned ape theory. Very interesting theory. But I still don't understand how will we lose all our hairs from mushroom.
It's like how we have hairless cats.
Yeah,
It just
they
happens.
are not like anyway. But this mushroom theory makes sense to me that
Yeah.
okay, so they started eating mushrooms
Yes.
and they start developing consciousness.
Changes the
But
neuroplasticity in the brain.
yeah, but then why will they ban something that give them that kind of conscious? There
Because
should be more into that. The
we're in
problem,
we're in a government-run state now. Because they don't want the monkeys getting too smart, Sid. That's the problem.
monkeys eat mushrooms all the time. All
Yeah,
animals eat
yeah.
mushrooms.
Well, yeah, wild animals eat psychedelic shrooms too.
Yeah, I've seen like even I saw a cheetah or jaguar tripping on mushrooms. There's a
Really?
video. Yeah,
It's
so
pretty.
there's like a video. I will find it and I'll send it
Yeah,
to you.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, there's like a big cat is
Yeah,
tripping
okay.
on. So
Yeah, I know deer
yeah,
eat the magic
well,
mushroom.
I think the way they discovered psychedelic in Amazon was an animal eat a mushroom,
Mm-hmm.
and then a hunter kill that animal,
Mm.
eat the meat of it,
Consume
or eat
sleep.
that animal, and then
Yeah.
that's how it start getting like trippy. Yeah, but again, like ayahuasca, don't do it without a shaman.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Anybody's
it's
listening
meant
out
to
there,
be
yeah,
guided. It's not meant to be something people consume in
yeah,
their lounge room.
yeah. With mushrooms, you can technically, if
Yeah,
you have little bit experience, you don't even need someone with
no,
you, unless you're taking a big dose. If you're taking a big dose, then
hero
yeah,
dose. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For
yeah,
safety's sake. Yeah, ayahuasca is definitely meant to be a guided experience in a group.
yeah. And to be honest, like it depends on the strain of the mushroom, because a lot of the people think 3 to 5 gram is hero dose.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was like a normal dose.
Mm.
Whenever I took, because I usually take a, whenever I was taking it was around 3 to 5 gram until the last time I took. was the craziest trick. It was like 14 grams.
That is ridiculous, Sid, and it explains a lot.
Yeah, that changed my life.
For the better or worse, Sid?
Hard to see. I don't know.
So
I
funny.
am definitely happier,
Okay.
and I don't fear death
Yeah. Don't know if that's a
Be-
good thing or a bad thing.
because I know there. I cannot prove it,
Hmm.
but after that experience, I know there is something out there.
Yeah.
Like death is. You know, before I used to say that death is like lights off.
Hmm.
Do whatever you can, then the lights off. Now I say, do whatever you can, and then the lights will on. Because
Crazy.
at that time, lights were on. I've never seen anything like that. It's like everything just turned on.
In America now, they are doing research around giving magic mushrooms and other psychedelics to people in their deathbed, to cancer patients. So
Mhm.
it assists with, I guess, having a understanding and an acceptance of your death. So yeah, that's what happened to you, Sid.
No, but to me, it wasn't just acceptance. It was like I died. Because the way I took the mushroom was very different. So the my state of mind,
Hmm.
I was an atheist when I took the mushrooms.
Okay.
So basically, the how it goes, my story goes like I was a very religious. I was born in a very religious family,
Hmm.
and I was very religious all my life.
What religion, Sid?
Islam,
Hmm.
Muslim, and then life happened. I was so I was until 22. I was in Pakistan. I left Pakistan in
Mm.
20 when I was 22 or 23. So at that time, my family was there, so many people. So, when you have a cushion, so even if you fail and you messed up, there's like so many layers protecting you, your
Yeah,
father, your parents, your
of
uncle, and
course.
everything.
Yeah.
So until then, I didn't realize the reality of life.
Mm.
And then I went to England to study my master's.
Hmm.
And then that's the first time when I was alone in a different country and there was no cushion.
Yeah, if you
Life
fuck up.
was
Yeah.
Yeah, life was hard, but
Mm.
still it was surviving. And I was not questioning God. I was always believing in God. But when I
Mhm.
came to Canada, something really bad happened. I'm not going the details. At
Mhm.
that time, the hardest thing you can imagine to a person, like almost got homeless,
Mm.
ho- didn't have money to even buy food for days.
Wow.
Yeah, that's happened in 2015.
Hmm.
And I was like, I had the issue. Anyway, at that time, first time I asked, like, question, going like, what the fuck, God? I always, I always prayed for you, and I know that because,
Yeah.
like, in
What's
Islam,
this
there's a
shit?
belief that God is have power of everything, right? He
Sure.
gives you
Yeah.
food. You don't like
He
he's the one
provides.
who is giving you food. So I was
Yes.
like, God, if you're the one who gives food to everyone, why I'm hungry from 2 days?
Mm.
Where is the
Good
food?
question. Yeah.
And then first time I opened my eyes, and then I understand the hardship of the poor people.
Mm.
Because I'm the really homeless people who don't have food. And then I looked around. I did Google search like how many people are hungry in Sahara. There are like there were around 1 billion people who
Wow.
don't get proper meat still
Yeah.
every day. So I start questioning, and then I found Christopher Hitchens, Richard Dawkins,
Hmm.
Sam Harris. These people who just mold my mind at that time. They were not talking to me like personally, but their lectures on
Yeah.
YouTube were their arguments were very perfect. Like, why is that? Why is that? There is no God and religion sucks and everything.
Hmm.
And then I become an atheist because I was like, yeah, religion have no answers for these questions.
Mm. Mm.
And I was like, God, you need to show me something really solid.
Time to show up.
I don't believe in you anymore. And normal arguments not gonna work because Christopher Hitchens had very strong arguments.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, if you want me to believe, show me something. And then he showed me something. I'm not kidding you.
Really?
Then okay, so you know Graham Hancock. You know about Graham
Mm.
Hancock?
No, I don't.
Okay, so Graham Hancock is an amazing journalist who actually. So there was a story going on from the archaeological point, like Egyptologists. These guys were
Mhm.
saying that pyramids are 3,500 years old. So Graham Hancock was the one. He said, "You guys are lying." And then he did his own research with some other scientists, and they give a proper report about that these pyramids are at least 11,000 years old or
Mhm.
12,000 years old. So he's like a very famous guy, and he is very much into mushrooms and stuff. So one time he said a very remarkable thing, that you don't find mushrooms, mushrooms will find you
Mm.
when the time is right. And that's what it happened. I was not looking for mushrooms, they always find me.
They come knocking.
Literally, you know, I showed you a picture. I
Yes.
didn't
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
think of that. They just appear somehow.
That's
Some
crazy.
guy was going, he said, "Hey, I have something you want to take." I said, "What is it?" I said, "Just have it." Literally, religious people should take psychedelics.
Yeah.
That will change their mind. Also, atheists should take it too. But
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like 1 gram or 2 grams. Maybe
I'm talking
do
hero
it first time
dose.
1 gram or 2 gram,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
need a
Yeah.
hero dose.
Hero dose.
Level 4,
Yeah.
when you, and I'm not talking about the trip when you close your eyes and you see visuals. I'm talking about when your eyes
Yeah.
are open
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
I
you
know what
don't
you.
see what's out there.
Yeah.
You don't even feel that you are in your body or in a different world.
Yes. Yeah.
That kind of experience. That doesn't come like very cheap. You have to be very lucky to achieve that, or unlucky, because you won't be the same person after that.
Well, they say DMT is like that.
Yeah, but the DMT thing is it's only 15 minutes.
Yes.
And
It is.
DMT, I don't trust. I'm not saying I don't trust. It's just like I don't trust processed stuff.
I was going to say it's because it's unnatural. Like a mushroom is just,
Yeah,
it's from the earth and it's dried and
exactly.
that's it. There's nothing added. But I will say with DMT, there is a group of scientists now that have created some system where it's like it's a drip. So you can have it DMT, they can control
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
I
I
think it's
know about this research.
DMTX. Mm.
Yeah, they do it for hours,
Yes.
but they do it so slow,
Yes.
like very like drops. They drop,
Yep.
they drip
Yeah,
it,
they do.
which is yeah, which is fine, I guess. But you know the real thing that what I was saying, the mushrooms will find you when
Hmm.
the time is right.
Yeah.
Right, mushrooms will find you, and you won't expect that. Like people who will get it, they won't expecting that trip at that time, because
Hmm.
when you expect a big trip, it
Mm.
won't happen. It
Yeah.
will happen at the very random time. At
Yeah.
least this is my experience. Different people have different experience, so I'm not gonna say this is the way, but like that's how it happened to me, because a lot of the time I planned a high trip, never or it wasn't like anything like it's always special, but it wasn't like crazy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
yeah.
craziest thing which I wanted to get happened at the most random time, at the
Yeah,
most random
unexpected.
place.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you're supposed to get lost, right? You have to get lost first to reach to a special place.
Yeah, I know what you're saying because it does seem a little odd to in to explore psychedelics and the conscious of your mind in a lab or a
Yeah.
medical setting.
Yeah, but ayahuasca is something I've never done it, because I
Hmm.
don't think we can even do it in Canada. But then you have
No.
to go to Peru to do a proper one.
Yeah, I think there is. Yeah, it's Peru, and I think there is now because they've decriminalized psychedelics in Colorado. There is a couple of retreats in Colorado and the Netherlands, I think.
No, I
Um,
think there are. It's decriminalized in Vancouver at least.
but
Yeah,
it's not available.
I think it is, but
Yeah.
again, I don't trust people at all.
Yeah. Well, if you were going to go and do the experience of ayahuasca, you'd want to go
Yeah, if I want to do ayahuasca, I will go to Peru.
Peru.
That's
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's ayahuasca is something where you achieve that level 5 of like psychedelic experience for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's meant to be life-changing.
Right.
But people deal with challenges as well. I was listening to a podcast about this, and it brings up obviously lots of emotional repressed stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
by the way, also, if you have a bad karma,
yeah,
you know, if you have a bad karma, don't go near that.
bad trip.
Because
Yeah,
you don't understand. If you're a bad person,
mm,
you need to fix your life first before you even think about them.
yeah,
And person know when he's a bad person. Like if you disturb others, you are bullying others for no
yeah.
reason, taking advantage of like a little guy.
Mm.
And if you are a murderer, oh my god, you're fucked. Don't.
Well, I guess the problem is you're opening up recesses in the brain that have otherwise been left undisturbed.
Yeah. Because you don't want to experience hell.
Mm,
I
yeah,
know I experienced heaven and it was overwhelming.
yeah, it's crazy, Sid. We'll
I'm saying
definitely,
it's too much information, you can't handle it. And just
yeah,
imagine if it's a bad information. Oh my god.
yeah, but it's horrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
But in most of the cases, most people on earth are good people. And I
Yes,
know the most people who are listening to us are good people.
yeah,
So probably they will have a good
positive trip.
experience, but get ready. Like if you end up with a trip, a crazy trip, then it will be very overwhelming and it
Mm,
will be out of control for few hours.
yeah,
So
that's
always
right.
have a strong person with you
You've got
and
to
don't be
have a
afraid.
trip sitter, especially for your first trip. My goodness,
Yeah.
everyone needs a
Don't
trip
be
sitter.
afraid. Also, you cannot die with mushrooms. Nobody has ever died
Yeah,
from mushrooms.
yeah.
But people have fried their brain. That's
Yeah.
also
Well, that's the issue is if there's underlying pre-existing
yeah.
mental health issues.
And if you take like too much mushrooms, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Or if you're on medication, like,
If you're in, and do not mix it with any other substance.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
if you mix it with other substance, then you have other issues.
just going to be a whole problem. Mushrooms, though, that's what's nice about mushrooms. It's so simple. And I generally find the type of people that take mushrooms fairly like-minded. So
Yeah.
it's usually, I don't know, like the bohemians of the world are attracted to mushrooms, right? It's like
Yeah.
artists and writers and
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm very against drugs.
Hmm.
Be,
The
just
irony.
because I am very pro psychedelic, that doesn't mean I'm pro drugs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I hate drugs. They are two
There's a
separate
difference.
things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they will
absolutely.
take you in a different place. All those drugs like meth
Yes,
and heroin, they will take you to a very dark place.
yes.
Don't consider psychedelic a drug. This is
It's different.
consider it a spiritual journey.
Yeah, it's a tool. Yeah,
Yeah, and trust me, once you, if you have that trip, you know what I'm saying. I'm not
yeah,
talking to you, but I'm talking to the people who was
yeah,
listening. I know
yeah,
you
absolutely.
very well, but so yeah, respect the mushrooms. If you disrespect them, they will fuck you up. Not
It's a good
kidding
note
here.
to end on.
Yeah, not kidding. I'm very serious.
It's so
Always
true.
respect them.
Yeah, even though it's a natural substance.
But respect, don't worship. They are not gods.
Yeah,
They just respect them.
yeah, yeah. I like that,
Yeah,
Sid. Yeah, you've got to have respect, right?
yeah,
Especially for something that can assist in making positive life changes.
exactly.
Yeah, because it's crazy. Yeah.
This loop is crazy, right?
That's like the mushroom.
Yeah.
All right, Sid. Have a good night's sleep.
All right, you too.
I'll
Bye.
talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.